Hello.
Hey man, what's up? What's going on?
Just getting ready for this interview, man.
Oh, cool. Derek Davis, Babylon A.D. Congratulations on the new album on Paris Records. Um, Rome wasn't built in a day. I listened to it a couple times today, and I listened to other tracks during the week. Phenomenal.
Right
That's
on. Thank
all I
you.
can say. Phenomenal. I mean, I was talking to Tom today, and I was just telling him a lot of times when I listen to albums, I can't get through the whole album. You know,
Uh-huh.
this
Yeah.
one right through, no problem at all. You
All
know,
right. That's great.
great stuff.
Yeah.
Welcome to our site, RockEyez. Um, so the longevity of the band, why do you feel the band's been around so long and still climbing the mountain? Progressing with each album, and like I said, this album is phenomenal. I can't say enough about it.
Thank you.
Okay, so why do you think the band's been around so long?
Well, one reason is the fans, the fans kind of keep the adrenaline kicking through the band.
Right,
Um, as long as there's fans that want to hear our music, we'll just keep on playing. We'll keep on going because there's no shortage of ideas that we have,
right,
you know. Uh, and I think we have a pretty cool sound. That's the Babylon A.D sound. You
right.
know, I play in a lot of different types of music with a lot of different guys, and I can't get that sound out of anybody else. But with Ron and John, the guitar players, and even the new drummer and bass player we have now, we have a particular sound, Babylon A.D. Even though it's classified as hard rock or glam metal or hair metal or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
you know, I think we kind of slide through everything, right?
Now, really, in the ridge, and back in '87, it was mostly glam and like, you know, pretty boy looks, and you guys had the same kind of look.
Yeah.
Um, through the years, as things changed, do you feel the music really changed a lot from back in the day to compared to now?
I don't really feel that we've changed our musical style at all. Um, we still write songs that have big hooks and write stuff that I write lyrics that I pretty much know about. I think I'm a better lyricist and a better singer than I was back then.
Right.
A lot of people seem to get older and they kind of lose it or they just kind of give up writing, but I write all the time. So it's not hard for me to come up with a lot of ideas that fit in the Babylon AD, what I call the Babylon AD hard rock box, because
Right.
I write a lot of different types of songs. But yeah, I don't know. It's I think I still think we have the same sound basically.
Cool. Now, was there any song particularly that was challenging recording it?
Um, Not particularly. I can't really say. There was a lot of song, not a lot of a few songs that had like um you know a little stuff that we wanted to put in there difference. Like we put we added some B3 organ that we normally don't do in a couple songs. Uh you know, with different colorings and things like that. That we added a little bit of keyboards. I guess that's what you could say. What we really don't normally do, but we kind of put it in the background.
Right.
Uh, yeah, and as far as recording hard stuff that was hard to record, it wasn't really hard to record. There was a few songs that was hard to mix. I
Right.
could tell you that. Like for instance, Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't know why I was having so much trouble mixing that song, but I mixed that song 7 times.
Right. Yeah.
I
Wow.
would think it's great. That's it. And then I'd come the next day and I go, oh, wait a minute, man, the snare don't sound right, or the bass is too heavy, or something,
Right.
something that didn't jive right. And I would listen to the other mixes that I had, and at first I'd think they sounded good, and then I'd listen to the next day's mix and I go, wow, one sounds way better.
Right.
And that I'd really honestly say that song was the only song that I had problems mixing with, and most of the other songs I mixed in 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? And they sounded great. A couple songs it was the first mix, and it was like I'd send it to all the guys, and they're like, "Yeah, this is it." So there was no point going over. But for some reason, even though Rome wasn't built in a day, which is the title track of the album and everything, seems like just a straightforward kind of driving rocker. It
Right.
was it was complicated, man. You know.
Now, my particular favorites were I Will Never Break Again, Face of God.
Hmm.
Them two songs really stick out. But
Yeah,
there's it's like Shut Up's great too.
yeah.
Like
I will never break again was pretty difficult to record just because there's so much going on, especially when all the orchestration starts happening coming
right,
into the last 2 minutes. You know, you've got a chick singing background vocals, singing over here to the right side. You got John's lead going. You've got
right,
different keyboard structures going on. You got violins and cellos. You know, you've
right,
got clean guitar and acoustic guitar, and you got my vocals. There was a lot going on right there. So that was a hard 2 minutes to mix right there. As far as Faces God goes, yeah, that's my favorite track on the album for sure.
right.
I just really think that that's the most to me, closest to me. You know, it's the most melodic for me that I grab onto every time I listen to it. You know,
I mean, the following song was just as good. Shut Up. I love that track.
yeah,
You
a
know,
lot of people have said that, and that actually was an idea that was brought to us by the bass player Craig Pepe and the drummer, our new drummer Dylan Soto. They kind of had it, you know, formulated a little bit, and they gave me a demo tape, and I just made a song of it out of it. You know what I mean?
right? Yeah,
It was a really cool groove, and I really liked the bass line. You know, the bass line stayed the same. The drums pretty much stayed the same to it, and all I did was add some lyrics and melodies. You know,
right. Now, how much input does Paris have in your music at all?
none.
Good, good. That's a good thing. You
None.
know,
Tom just, you know, it's just like, hey, give me what you got, and I hope it's good. And then when we give it to him, he's like, oh, this is great.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure if he listened to it and went, oh man, what am I gonna do? He would let us know. But I mean, we
yeah.
had 18 songs to choose from for the album, you
Right.
know.
Wow, wow. You know, I know.
So and we've got the other ones in the can, and so we're already, even though just now took off, we're already starting to think about getting in the recording studio and putting the next one together, you know.
Right. Definitely, definitely. Do you guys play out much at all?
Yeah, we've got a lot of gigs coming up. We're playing the Whiskey a Go Go this Friday night.
Right.
Um, and then we play a lot of different club dates with different bands. We're playing with Dangerous Toys in Texas. Um, no, actually, that's in Denver, I think it is. And then we're playing Salt Lake City, Texas, Florida. We've got some European dates coming up. We're playing Monsters of the Mountain with Aldo Nova and Joan Jett. That's going to be fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're out, you know, gigging behind the album and trying to promote.
Cool, cool. What's your feeling about vinyl coming back?
I love it. My manager just sent me over some information on uh the status of CDs versus vinyl, and now vinyl is actually outselling CDs.
Wow.
Yeah, like something like 60 to 40, you know, and even 2 years ago it was still CDs and then vinyl, but now vinyl's coming back, you know, and we have this album coming out on vinyl too. It just takes longer to make vinyl. It takes like 6 to 8 weeks to make vinyl, you know.
Yeah.
CDs you can whip out in a couple of weeks, you know, for the production of it. So the manufacturing and everything, but albums take a while. So I think we have that next month. We'll have the albums on sale.
You like the idea of having that big vinyl, album cover and,
I do. I do because when I buy stuff, that's what I buy. I buy albums.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
I have a pretty cool album collection. But yeah, I don't really buy CDs anymore, and I don't really buy anything off the internet or anything like that. I'll listen to something, but I'll buy the whole album. Like I just bought the last well, it's the last, but it just came out, the new Rolling Stones album,
Oh,
and it's a good album. I was
right.
surprised because I really didn't like the single that much. The
Right.
first single, Guilty, I guess it was called, or something like that. I didn't care for the song, you know, and then but I bought the album and I'm like, wow, this album has way better songs than that first one. I wonder why they put that out, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. What's your feeling about, like, you could go on the internet and basically you could get your album before it actually reaches the fans' hands?
Well, that's kind of like out of your control. So there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? I mean, technology nowadays, there's just really nothing you can do.
Right. Yeah.
And what kind of sucks though is like a lot of people will, they'll watch the video and everything, and you can go to YouTube and listen to the whole album. You can listen to it 100 times, a million times, whatever you want to. You don't have to download nothing. You
Right.
know, you don't get anything out of that. Maybe like a half a cent a play.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so that's kind of a bummer. I'd rather people buy a single from Apple for 99 cents than just listen to
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's tough out here for us musicians, man. There's not a lot of money to be made like there was in the old days. You don't get a big giant fat record contract with the bonus signing, advance like you did in the old days. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Definitely. You think you're going to come to New York area on this tour?
I hope so, man. I'd like to come out there to New Jersey and New York, and man, we always had a great time when we went out there. We played all the clubs, Babylon. We played in Babylon. I remember we played the Cat Club. I mean, there was a lot of different places we played in New York and around that area.
Right. Wow. Wow. How do the venues treat the bands and stuff like that these days?
It's about the same. There's just less of them. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Yeah.
like I mean, if there was, hypothetically, if there was 500 venues in the United States 25 years ago when all the hard rock stuff was really big,
Right.
there's going to be, a tenth amount of that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I do feel that there's sort of a resurgence that's come back in the last couple of years
Right.
for bands like ours and of that era. And I think it's just that we're all older now and we've all had kids and things like that, and we're all basically kids at heart.
Right.
We're all adults, but we're kids at hearts, and we want to go back to our youth and have fun and everything. When Aerosmith comes to town, I go see Aerosmith.
Right.
When Rod Stewart comes to town, I go see Rod Stewart. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's the same thing for people that grew up listening to our music. It's not for probably an 18-year-old, unless they discover it somehow.
Right. Yeah.
But who's to say?
What band would you like to see live that you never saw before?
That I've never seen before. That's a trick question because I've seen so many bands. I'm not sure if there is a band that I'd like to see that I haven't seen before. I can't really say. No. I
Cool.
mean, maybe I'd like to see so, crazy, but I'd like to see somebody like Bob Dylan or
Right.
Tom
Yeah.
Jones. Some
Yep.
stuff when I was a little teeny kid, my mom liked, just to see what it's like, you know what I mean? But as far as rock bands, there's nobody I'd like to see. I've seen the Stones several times, and they're the epitome of rock and roll. And Aerosmith, I've seen multiple times, and I've seen basically about every band that we came up with. The Cult and the bands that I like.
Yeah.
Maybe Monster Magnet. I kind of like those guys.
Yep.
For a kind of a newer band, I like them. We played with Rob Zombie one time, and I didn't really pay attention because it was when their first album first came out. But I think I'd like to go see Rob Zombie if he played.
Right. Definitely. What's your feelings about maybe going overseas and playing some shows overseas?
Yeah, we've got some dates already booked for doing that. Yeah, we're going to be playing around the England, somewhere around the UK area.
Right. Wow. What's the feeling like when you got people waiting for your autograph?
It feels kind of funny, to be honest with you.
I bet you.
Because it's just like, okay, yeah, and it's strange because people even take the set list off the stage.
Yeah, they do.
Have you sign it? It's
Yep.
like, well, hey, if it floats your boat and you like that, that's cool. How about buying a t-shirt for $25? Maybe I'll make some money on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But, the one thing that I notice a lot of bands do nowadays is they do the meet and greets and they charge money and stuff like that.
Right.
We
Yeah.
that, man. If we do a meet and greet, we're not going to charge our fans money.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I guess that's a way to make money and have your fans meet you, and most fans probably don't care about that, but I don't think that's right. I think after a gig, you should go out, meet your fans,
Right.
do your autograph. It's part of your job, and
Yeah,
plus I like to meet the fans, and I'm always surprised and blown away, man, where all of a sudden some guy will go, "Oh yeah, me and my wife just flew in from Australia." You're like,
right.
"What?"
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, "Huh?" Yeah, and I swear to God, I get that at every single gig. People
Wow.
coming from like different places, like far away.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, you're like, "Wow, you came all the way just to see us?" Well, you guys don't play that often, man. So that
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get those
Yeah.
kind of stuff, you know.
Wow. You
Yeah,
know.
it's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Is there anything I missed that you'd like to talk about?
I mean, not really. I just think that I'm just happy that I'm doing an interview with you. I've been doing these interviews for about maybe a month now.
Right.
And
Uh-huh.
everybody, what's cool about it is everybody kind of ask different kind of questions, and I'm always kind of surprised because you think you're going to get the same thing over and over and over again. Like, well, how did the band start? And
Right.
you know what I mean? And it's just like, and every once in a while you'll get that where you feel like you're doing the same interview, but uh, your questions are all fresh, and they're actually, I think probably 9 out of 10 of them I haven't answered before.
Right. Good. That's a good thing. That's a
That's a
good.
good thing. Exactly.
So, what's the rest of the year look like for you guys?
A lot of playing. We got a lot of shows coming up. And I'm writing in the recording studio with the band and without the band, some different stuff. And just, it just busy, man. I'm in this recording studio 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, but I love it. So I can't complain. I could be out there digging a hole with a shovel or up on a
Yeah.
roof. You know what I mean?
Cool. So, did you ever think about maybe having a guest on this new album?
No, that really never crossed our mind. Um, I mean, not to say that we wouldn't, if the opportunity came and it was somebody that we thought we'd like to have them on there. I never really thought about it, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. How did it, like, when you go out on tour and stuff like that? How do the clubs treat you? Do they feed you and take care of you and everything?
Oh, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get your rooms and you get your you get all your perks, I get my Johnny Walker Black. The
Uh-huh.
guys get their beer. And we get our food and the snacks and everything. We get our towels and you
Right.
know, we're still missing the M&M's thing like Van Halen had, but we
Right.
don't ask for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, everybody treats you. Everybody's. We haven't never had a bad experience. I don't think out on the road with any clubs. Maybe 20, 30 years ago we had a couple situations, but no, everybody treats you with a lot of respect.
Cool, cool. What was the club you like playing the most?
Well, I like playing the whiskey the most. That's where we're playing this week on Friday, just because that's hollow ground.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's where Jim Morrison. That's where everybody who is anybody has played.
Right.
So that's I like playing there the most. It's a nice big stage, great audience all the time. The atmosphere is just off the hook, you know. So I mean, there's really no I mean, I played huge stages and for lots of different people and in different countries and things like that, and festivals that were,
Right.
25,000 people, things like that, which you would think like this is the greatest on earth. But really, when it comes down to it, what your question is, I like the whiskey the best,
Right.
you know?
Right. Right. You said you're working on new material. Would that also come out on Paris?
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Cool.
It will. Mhm.
I'm glad because I like Tom. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Tom's a great guy. I mean, we were on Frontiers records a few years back,
Right.
and they treated us well and everything. But when you're on Frontiers, you're kind of like lost in the,
Yeah.
there's so many bands, man. It's just like throw something at a wall, maybe something will stick. That's
Right.
the way it kind of feels, even though, it's a good label and everything like that. I like, I've known Tom for a long time,
Right.
you know, we've known Tom for a long time. So, it's, it's a, it's a better working environment for us, man, because we get to do whatever we want. And he is 100% focused on us. You know what I
Right.
mean? Instead of 10 other bands at the same time.
Right,
So
right.
it makes a big difference,
Yeah.
you know?
What band would you like to go out with if you had a chance to?
Uh, you mean realistically or like fantasy?
A dream, yeah, fantasy, actually, a dream come true.
Fantasy, I like to go out with Aerosmith.
Oh,
Yeah, we almost did one time.
oh
We
yeah,
almost had that. Yeah, we almost had it, man. And I think somebody like William Morris set it up for us.
right,
And it was like 2 weeks before, and all of a sudden, I don't remember exactly the story, but something happened where we didn't go with him. And then, so instead of going with Aerosmith, hey, Alice Cooper said, hey, you guys could go out with me. We said, yeah. And then, like 2 days before the tour started, that blew up. And
wow,
Alice didn't go on tour. And we were like, geez, man,
wow.
So we did a string of club dates,
Well, that's okay. You know, as long as you're getting out there and playing.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay for like that, but it would have been great to be opening up
Oh
for
yeah,
Aerosmith or,
definitely.
Alice Cooper on a big, 30,000 people every single night type
Oh,
of thing.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, Derek, it was great chatting with you. Rome wasn't built in a day. Phenomenal album. Please
Thank
support it. Tell me about your merchandise so people could get it.
We right now we have it all at the just at the clubs, but we're
Right,
setting it all up. It's so funny you said that because we've been working on that for the last 2 weeks with Shopify connected to our website. And they have different places like say Printify,
right,
where a person could just go and say, I want that on my hat or whatever. I want that on my shirt.
right,
So that's all being formed right now. And it's supposed to be up within a week
right.
where anybody could just go to our website and buy whatever they want,
Cool. Great, man. So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can just go to BabylonADband.com. There's a contact page. If
Uh-huh.
anybody wants to contact the band or anything like that, or has something special they need, that's the best way. Or Facebook, everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah,
I know we look at Facebook probably every other day or post something every couple days,
yeah.
just to keep everybody engaged and, let people know what's going on.
Would you like to say anything to the fans in conclusion?
In conclusion, I'd just like to say to all the fans, thank you for sticking around with us all these years. It means a lot to the band, and we're very honored and humbled that we're able to stick around and stay relevant, and just really, really means a lot that people still are interested in us because it keeps us going, keeps our engine going, you know. If we didn't have the fans, we probably wouldn't be playing, you
Right,
know. We'd all be doing different endeavors in music probably, but not as Babylon AD.
right, right. Wait till people get to hear this album. Like I said, it's phenomenal, and you'll get a
Yeah,
lot of new fans just as the old ones.
yeah,
So
I've heard that by many, many people that are brand new fans now. So we're just hoping to expand the fan base.
cool, cool. Well, congratulations, man. I appreciate the chat.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Talk to you later, man. Bye bye.
Bye.